Lies, grossly unethical conduct, betrayal and abuse of authority. For ACT Director of Public Prosecution Shane Drumgold, it's hard to imagine a more damning assessment. Leaked reports in The Australian purporting to be findings of the Sofronoff inquiry, slamming Drumgold for failing to disclose an internal police document to Bruce Lehrmann's legal team.
The Mueller report was a brief of evidence put together by the police that raised inconsistencies and concerns they had about the case against Bruce Lehrmann. If the defence had not gotten hold of the Mueller report, and if indeed Mr Lehrmann had been found guilty, it would have been a miscarriage of justice. It would have been grounds to overturn any finding that the Supreme Court made.
Drumgold accused of failing the golden rule of disclosure and treating the trial like a poker game in which a prosecutor can hide the cards. Vindication also for former Project host Lisa Wilkinson. The inquiry purportedly finding Drumgold did not at any time warn against her Logie's speech and knowingly lied to the Chief Justice about doing so. His so-called contemporaneous notes of a meeting with Wilkinson, nothing more than a copy of an email written after the Logies.
It is a vindication of sorts for Lisa Wilkinson. Mr Sofronoff finds that he prefers her evidence to that of the DPP.
10 today releasing a statement saying Network 10, along with the Project and Lisa Wilkinson, have consistently maintained throughout the whole process that they did not receive a warning against giving the Logies speech. Lehrmann, who was never convicted and has always maintained his innocence, reportedly planning a multi-million-dollar compensation claim against the ACT DPP. Lehrmann condemning a dark chapter for the ACT justice system. Questions now over the future of Shane Drumgold.
This is the end of the line for Mr Drumgold as the Director of Public Prosecutions. He wanted an inquiry and he got one, but I don't think the findings were what he expected.
On leave since May, Drumgold today confirming he has not seen the report and is unable to comment.
And late this afternoon, the ACT government responded to the leaking of the report, noting that the ACT government is disappointed that the report has been released to select media outlets. The government has sought advice from the Board of Inquiry, which has confirmed it provided a copy to some media outlets under an embargo, and a full statement is on our website. Let's go now to media lawyer Justin Quill. Justin, again, we have to reiterate that we haven't seen this report, so we can't independently confirm the leaks. However, Shane Drumgold, he actually called for this inquiry and it's seemingly blown up in his face. How did this happen?
Yeah, look, this is about as big an own goal as you could possibly imagine. I don't think we've had an own goal in the Women's World Cup, but we've certainly had one today. He called for the inquiry. He had a whole stack of allegations he wanted, or complaints that he wanted investigated. All of those have been found to be baseless, and then there's been all these findings against him. So it was a real double whammy for him.
Justin, what will this mean for his career?
Look, I cannot see how he can continue as DPP. But as for his career, his wider career, sometimes DPPs go on to be judges. That's very unlikely. Or they could go back to the bar and be barrister. Certainly not good for his career, and I think it spells the end of him being a DPP or a judge.
So if these reports are true, should Lisa Wilkinson be feeling vindicated tonight?
Well, look, on some key aspects, Mr Sofronoff found that he preferred Lisa Wilkinson's version of events than Mr Drumgold's. And so in that respect, I'm sure she is feeling vindicated.
Is it possible that the DPP, Shane Drumgold, might actually face criminal charges over any of this?
Look, absolutely it's possible. It's important to note that these are findings not at a criminal standard, and that it's not a guilty finding, and that would have to take place after a full criminal case. But Mr Sofronoff found that Mr Drumgold knowingly lied to the Chief Justice. It's about as bad as it could get, and I wouldn't be surprised if charges are laid, but that's a decision for an incoming DPP.
Justin, most of us don't watch the legal system at work in the way that you and others do. Can you help us understand the significance of all of this? Like, what does it actually mean, the stuff that's being said about the way this trial unfolded? We all watched it from afar, but how do you interpret what you know today?
Put to one side for one moment the fact that this was going on in Bruce Lehrmann's trial, in the if you like, the Brittany Higgins case. Let's put that to one side. This is a Director of Public Prosecutions, the person who is supposed to enforce the law, who makes decisions about whether or not to charge someone and then runs the cases, the criminal cases against them. It's alleged, or it's been found, that he lied to the Chief Justice. This is extraordinary, and I can tell you within the legal fraternity, not just in the ACT, but right the way around the country, everyone is talking about it. So this has significance beyond this case. It obviously has an impact on the case and had an impact on the case, but just the thought that a Director of Public Prosecutions would act in this way is mind-blowing, and I can't believe that this went on. It's extraordinary.
On top of all of this, we learned today that the former Defence Minister Linda Reynolds is commencing defamation proceedings against Brittany Higgins. What's that for? Why is that happening?
Yeah, well, we know that is in relation to an Instagram story and a Twitter post by Brittany Higgins. We know there was a letter of demand, or what's called a concerns notice under the Defamation Act, but what's been lodged in court is only a writ. It's not a statement of claim, and the statement of claim is where we see exactly what the whole case is about and what Ms Reynolds would be claiming and arguing. So that hasn't happened. Her lawyers chose to not do that. They don't need to do that right at this point in time. So we really don't know all of the detail, and we won't know all of the detail until that statement of claim is lodged in a few weeks' time.
Justin, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.